name's Junfei Chen, and this is my project, and which is from the Aqua Chicago, names Aqua Tower. It's a mixed-use hotel, and from the picture we can see the most interesting part is the skin of these buildings. So I'm gonna do the skins in this project. Let's get started. Okay. Firstly, I think this project can separate by two parts. First part is a core box. So I create this core box here, which the dimension is 60 by 30s. So it's from my research. And I'm gonna do the skins along this box facade, the facade. Okay, because it has 3 meters in each floors and 80 floors height. So I create a series of points in the z-axis, which is we can see from here. And along this each original point in each floors, I'm gonna create a rectangular plant. And in each rectangular plant, I'm gonna create the space equally spaced small plants. And now it's 32 equally spaced points. And I can change the number of those small plants. And later on, I'm gonna use the original points of each plant, like a control points, and I'm gonna use the parameters, input the parameters to interfere those points to change the location of each floor's points. Okay. All right. Later on, from now on, I'm gonna start the most important part of this project. Same, I'm gonna create a series of numbers in a z-axis, which is here, those points, which is really small. It doesn't matter. And then I'm gonna create the plans in the same rectangular plans in each levels. And then I'm gonna create the smallest, like equally spaced plans for the rectangular along the edge of the rectangular. And I use a plugin which is Pearly Noise, and this noise gonna interfere the original point of each equal space small plants and changing them to randomly, but I can set them in a range, so which is here, shows here. Since I changing this, the scale of coefficients, since getting bigger, the curvature is getting bigger. And I input those parameters into the former points which I create. See those points I create. And I add a vector, which is the vector's distance. I already gave the direction, which is y-axis, but the distance is from this Pearly Noise. It depends on the Pearly Noise. It's gonna evaluate a series of number in different vectors. And then I enclose those points with into a closed curve. So from this curve, we can see from now on, this skin is almost done. We can see the skin is curved, and it can changing by the scale of the coefficient. And after this, as I said before, I assume each floor has the same height and the same curvatures, so I can use those each levels to extrude and to get a volumes which this curve surface. Okay, that's the curved surface. So we can see carefully, if we see carefully, we can see in each levels you see here, the curvature are different, are same. Actually, it's same curvature in the z-axis. There's no different. Okay, and last step, which is the last step, I'm gonna enclose those volumes. Since it has 80 floors and each floors, I'm gonna give them floors and roof. So I'm gonna break them. Okay, so that's my Aqua towers. I can bake it to make it more clearly. Well, I can change the scale first, and we can see how the curve, how the skin changing. You see, since the scale is getting to the 0, there is flat skin for surface. But since it's getting bigger, the surface is more curved. And I can bake it to see how that looks like. Okay, now this is my project, and this is my skin. We can see it's really curved, and the scale is really small. So I can delete this and create a new one, which is more normally. So I set the number 0.5, and I bake it. Okay, so from this it's more like a real one compared to the pictures I show here. Alright, thank you, that's my project. Thanks for watching.